Hello my friends, welcome to Brown Strings. I'm Henriette and today is day 26 of the Virtual Violin Practice Playalong. It's so good to see you here and that you're still going. That is absolutely awesome. So thank you for showing up to this lesson today, and I'll tell you what we are going to be doing. We're going to progress with our shoulder exercises. We're going to continue our awareness of where our shoulder blades are, and we're going to see if we can still improve the tone quality today. Then we are going to go and practice our position changes, and we're also going to delve a little bit deeper into string crossings and how we can make the most beautiful string crossings in your music. And then of course towards the end of this session we have our improvisation, and we are now going to go and improvise in major and minor keys because we know a lot more about that. So let's get all your things together, your violin and your bow, and put some rosin on your bow, and let's go and get started. We're going to start, as always, by tuning up. Here is your A. This is your E string. Here is your D. G. And now let's tune in double stops. So here are your A and E strings. A and D. D and G. Alright, let's put our violin and our bow down for a moment, and we'll come to that in a minute. But first I would like you to lift your shoulders up to your ears and then drop them down and lift them up again and drop them down. And now let's give them a couple of really good circles round, forwards and backwards. Do them in your own time, and then turn the direction again, forwards and backwards. And now once again lift them up and drop them down. And as you drop them down this time, I want you to imagine that your shoulder blades go up a little bit, and then as you draw your shoulders down, your shoulder blades also go down. So see if you can feel an imaginary point in your back that goes up when your shoulders go up, and it goes down when your shoulders go down. You want to feel the skin of your back, as it were, coming down into the lower shoulders. Let's try that a few more times, shall we? Up, and now pretend you're drawing your shoulders down. There we go. Well done, good. Now let's lift your arms sideways and let's do the same thing. So lift up your shoulders and drop them down. And now I think it should be easier to feel. So lift your shoulders up and now pretend you're drawing your back. You draw your back down like that. So up and down. There you go. Up and draw your back down. That's it. And you want to pretend that you're standing really, really tall. So you might even pretend you've got a little string attached here to your breastbone, and you draw yourself forward from there. Okay? So let's lift it up and back and and really draw your chest up. That's very good. Well done. One more time, last time, so make it your best one. Up and draw those back muscles down. Very good. Okay, so let's pick up your violin and your bow now. And what I'd like you to do is just play some open G strings, and as we go I want you to drop all of this down, just very similar to the exercise that we've done now. So set your bow on the G string and down you go. And let's do that again, a big circle in the air. Put your bow down at the heel, drop it all down. Hang off that string with your arm. Let's do that again. It doesn't matter if you hear a little bit of a crunchy sound, because that shows me that all of that weight is into the string. And again, set it on the G string at the heel. Now drop your elbow, your shoulder, everything down. Let the weight hang into the string. That's it. And you see, you'll eliminate your crunches whenever you get any speed on the bow. So that encourages you also to play with more speed. But for now, I'm not too fussed about the speed at all. Let's try it one more time, shall we? Set your bow at the heel. Now drop your shoulder down. Really hang off that string like that. And now go. Good. Now let's play the rocket now. So we're going to go at the point of the bow on the E string. You make a little bit of smoke. And up you go. Okay, and as you come down, let's go down on the G string and do that same exercise. Drop your shoulder down, feel it in your back. Very good. Set your bow at the point, make sure that shoulder is down. A little bit of smoke, and up you go. Bend your fingers. Great. Put your bow down, hang off it. Awesome, awesome. And you will find that we'll keep coming back to this idea of weight into the string, and you will greatly develop the tone quality as we go along. So that is a process that doesn't happen overnight, but in 2 or 3 weeks time you might say, golly, I've really improved my tone, haven't I? And that's how you notice the difference. Lovely job. Now we're going to do a little bit of everything today. So let's put the bow down now on the D string in the middle, and let's feel those squeezes that we did in day 25. Okay, I might actually go a little bit further towards the middle. There we go. And we're just going to practice some martelé bow strokes. So when you're ready, step forward with your left foot a little bit, so you've got that balanced stance. Okay, ready, squeeze and let go. And stop. And squeeze again. There you go. Last one, so make it your best one. Awesome, very good. Okay, very, very good. Now, let's now go on to the A string again and practice our swinging. So we're still practicing. Is my elbow and my shoulder, my left side of my body, is it really relaxed? And now let's just practice a couple of dry swings here, shall we? And now I'd like you to think about your thumb. And your thumb goes up to there, and then it spirals round there. So if I go higher, my thumb just disappears into that corner there, you see? So let your thumb be ready in the first position there, and as soon as you go up to the third or fourth position, your thumb spirals round and then fits really snugly into that corner. And your way down is the same. So can you see how my thumb spirals round? There. We're going to try and incorporate that in our swinging today. So let's get the bow and let's play from B. Ready? So here we go. Swing your elbow out. Under. Push under. Swing back. Awesome. Now let's play this last shift once again. So we're going to the octave. And then we'll just hold it. So freeze in your tracks once you get there. Okay? And. Okay. Now can you check now that your thumb is there in that corner? And that your hand is not touching the violin here. So it's free here. I have a space in between my hand and the violin. So my forearm is almost in front of my body. So I can see my elbow to the right hand side of my violin. My elbow is that far under. And what happens sometimes is that you don't go far enough under with your elbow. And then you can't get any higher, you see. So what you want to do is just overdo it a bit. That feels absolutely ridiculous, but it doesn't actually look like that. So if you feel that it is crazy, I can't go as far forward with my elbow, that is a good thing. Okay, let's do it again. We'll shift to the octave and back. Ready? And that's it. Very well done. Very good. Okay, now in the last couple of lessons we have been practicing our arpeggio playing, and we were practicing that our elbow draws a little line. Today we're going to fine-tune our string crossings, and we're going to do some string crossings with our right wrist. Let's put your violin and your bow down and we'll think about that in a bit more detail. So what I'd like you to do is to have your arm and your hand and your fingers all in one line, and you might actually have it like that, more or less in one line. And now I'm going to put my left hand finger underneath my wrist, and I'm going to drop my wrist down like that and bring it back up and drop it back down again. And you want to get a feel for how you relax your muscles of your hand and your wrist just drops down. Now my wrist doesn't actually drop down very far, that's just the natural tension in my muscles. Some people can go absolutely at right angles, and other people can maybe not go half as far as I can. So that varies from person to person, so you do your own version that works for you. Drop it down. We'll practice that a few more times. And flat, and drop it down. Good. Now bring it back into your flat position. Now can you lift your wrist up, or lift your hand up, I should rather say. Lift it up and back, and lift it up and back. Good. And now we're integrating those two movements. So drop your hand down, bring it in line, lift it up, flat, down, flat, up, flat, down. Now if you're shaking, welcome to the world of shaking, you're with me here. Okay? Most wrists find that very, very hard to control, and we usually use our wrists without thinking. You might say hello to someone or shake their hands or do all sorts of things, but actually going up and down is quite a complex movement here. Now from going up and down, I want you to steer right, then go down, steer left, go up, and turn this into a circle. There you go. And this is a clockwise circle, and we're doing clockwise circles today. We'll leave the anti-clockwise circles for another day. So let's now pick up your bow and your violin, and let's see if we can still do clockwise circles when you hold your bow in your hand. So here we go. Drop it down, turn left, come up, turn right, go down. Okay. That feels quite unfamiliar, doesn't it? You might practice this by drawing your name in the air. Just write it in big letters like that. You get a bit more flexibility in your wrist that way. Okay, now how are we going to use that for violin playing? Okay, I'm going to play on the A and E strings, and I'm going to play an uppo on the E string. We're sort of roughly in the middle of the bow. And now I want you to lift your hand up and go to the A string and go this way. So we're not worried about other sounds that you might hit, other strings also, or we're not concerned with the bow not being flat on the strings, that sort of thing. We're just wanting to feel what it is like. Uppo on the E string. And perhaps you can see that my wrist is doing this. Excellent. Now and again, this is getting an awareness of what happens, and eventually you'll be able to integrate this movement into your playing and make your string crossings really smooth, because I can show you the difference. Look, if I do it with my elbow, I get a really sudden change from one string to another, whereas if I play with my wrist, there you go. You can get a much more fine-tuned string crossing that way. So well done for adding this technique to your repertoire of techniques that you use in your playing. Now then, enough of that for today. We'll come back to it another day. So let's now practice our D minor scale. And we are going to play every note of the scale twice with long bows. So we're still going to go slowly. And we're going to see if we can lean into the string and make the fullest sound ever. So I want you also to stretch your bow arm forwards and to really sink into the string. So make sure your right shoulder is in its lowest position. Here we go. 1, 2. Awesome. And you can tell every lesson, every day in this course, your sound is fuller than the day before. So really good. Now this time we're playing the D major scale in the same style. So long bows, nice straight bows, really weighting into the string. So what is the difference when we're playing the D major scale compared with the D minor scale? First of all, my F sharp comes back in. And then you've got a B natural and then your C sharp. For your sixth note, instead of a B flat, you have a B. Here we go. 1, 2. That's lovely. Well done. So you may ask, why are we now suddenly combining a D minor scale and a D major scale? You can perhaps remember when we were improvising in days 24 and 25, we were trying to look for contrasting sections. So we might have played one section legato, one section staccato, or one section louder and another section softer. And today we're going to put those differences by the side a little bit, because we're going to concentrate on playing one section in the major and the other section in the minor key. How am I going to do that, you might ask? And the answer to that question is you've just maybe discovered that there are two crucial notes that determine whether you are playing major or minor. The first one is whether you play an F sharp or an F natural. So the F natural is the minor, the F sharp is the major. And then you may also have seen the B in the major scale and the B flat in the minor scale. So we can use those notes to make, if we go from a major scale to a minor, we might go, instead of playing a high second finger for the major, suddenly playing an unexpected low second finger. And that helps you change to the minor key. And I'll give you an example, and this time we're going to experiment a little bit longer. So I shall give you an example of how I do that, and I will also stop occasionally and tell you what's just happened, but I would like it if you were trying to analyze what I'm doing. I'll keep it fairly simple, don't worry. And then I'll give you enough time to try that for yourself. So then you might play exactly the same as what I do, or you might play your own version. So have a look here. I'm going to start off with a short phrase, then suddenly I'm going to put that F natural in, and you'll find that you're playing in a minor key. So that sounded happy, major, didn't it? And now I'm going. To a minor key because I played the low second finger. This is all the same. So I want to put in that B flat. So have a go for yourself and experiment. You might do something very similar. And how did that work? You might even take a little bit longer, pause this video and just experiment a little bit more and then come back to it. But let me show you another example, because I could also start at the top of the scale. Do you think that was major or minor? I'm hoping you have just said minor, because now I'm going to play something very similar, and it is major. You hear that? So I played a B natural, and then I had later on an F sharp here. Now these things, they don't sound odd when you combine them. So just have a go and experimenting. Put a B flat in suddenly, or put a B in. There we go. And again, if you need more time, just press pause and have another go before we move on. Now, once you do this, you can use the major and the minor scales by following them onto one another a little bit more swiftly, and I'll show you how that goes. So if I play this, for instance, could you think of something else to play after that? There you go. And that will be either more or less successful, and really it doesn't matter. Even if you were to mess this up completely, you will learn what's not possible, and that is a valuable skill to have, to find out what is absolutely possible and what is not possible. So great job. I like it a lot when people make mistakes in improvisation, because they don't really exist. Anything is possible, but if you are looking for plausible melodies that you could think of, then one is definitely probably nicer than another. But anything goes, and there is also a rule in improvising that says if you make a mistake, deliberately make that same mistake again so that it becomes part of your melody. And that is a nice reassuring thought, isn't it? I'm going to play you another one. We can experiment with it. Again, I'm using the note of the scale of D major or D minor. You have a go. And here is the major version. And I'm thinking you're getting to grips with this a little bit. Now, this is early days in our improvisation when we combine major and minor keys. So you've done a great job today, and I'm very grateful for you sticking with me and having put your trust in me to take you along on this journey. And we have now certainly really moved on from how we first started playing any random open strings, haven't we? So that will progress as you go along, and I'm just hoping that you feel gradually more confident in joining me on this journey. So well done. Have another go yourself if you feel like, and I will carry on with this, perhaps in different keys, in day 27. So I look forward to seeing you again soon. Goodbye.